split draws. But yeah, man, we'll keep it pushing because I want to give Condit and McGee their time, and I want to give them their dues, man. Because I thought Condit looked so good. Like
he looked great.
I was like getting ready to like come in here and have our typical post old fighter spiel. You know what I'm saying? Like we have like we've done it so many times now with two guys that shouldn't still be fighting to come in.
Dog, I've been shitting on that fight for the whole week coming into it. I've been saying these guys are 1-9 combined records going into this fight. Condit hasn't won one in his last 5. Court McGee has won 1 in his last 5, and it wasn't the last 2. So it's like, and they're both old as shit. They're fighting at 170. This whole week leading up, I was like, this is a bullshit fight. I hate it. It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. I'll be real, man. Fuck me for being this kind of UFC fan. I just was kind of excited to see Carlos Condit back in there. Like,
God. God damn.
I'm the worst. I know. I was like, like, would I rather watch Carlos Condit or some guy from
fair.
Turkmenistan that I don't fucking know?
And at least Carlos Condit has a crazy cool style when you watch him. Like, he is very unpredictable. I don't even think he knows what he's going to do. Like, his movement is weird, dude.
It's like a jazz musician in there.
I started thinking about it, like, when you have ever been moving, or like even in like any sports you've played, like you find like a rhythm in your movement usually, right? Or like you find rhythms in your like athletics or workouts, like all kinds of things, right?
Yeah, I try to, especially like me being a linebacker, and like especially in college, I was more of kind of like a specialized blitzing linebacker.
Yeah.
And to me, it was all about rhythm. But to me, it all started because this isn't going to translate very well to mixed martial arts because it was all about the snap count for me. Like, if I could jump that snap count, it was all fucking downhill from there.
But that's you getting the rhythm of the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is rhythm.
And I was good at that shit, too, if I don't mind, if I do say so myself. But yeah, man, so rhythm, to bring it back full circle, yes, athletic, competitive rhythm, totally a believer in it, for sure. And to bring the analogy home, Carlos Condit would be a quarterback with a really good hard count that fucks up my rhythm. Yes, to bring it full circle, like Aaron Rodgers.
Like hard count, but then also is in the huddle and is changing snap count every other play. Like he knows it's a game in his own head with the defense. So and I will say like that is to Carlos Condit's advantage, right? Like his striking defense is better because you don't know if he's going to throw a crazy strike, some lead-in elbow from this weird hopping stance. Or you also don't know if you're going to be able to hit him because he might switch his stance the minute you try and throw.
Yeah, and I do want to mention Condit was a plus 110 underdog. I mean, pretty goddamn close to a pick 'em, right? I mean, there was a lot of those on this card. A lot of close Vegas odds. Something else, I think I mentioned this to you, but I didn't mention it yet on the podcast. On UFC.com, like they always have the odds, like because I like use it to like write down my notes, like who's fighting next, like so and I'll write down the odds like before that way I'm not doing that shit as the fight's about to start.
Yeah.
And so I usually have like UFC.com events pulled on my laptop, and they have no odds for any of these fights on their website. I don't know if that's just their website guy dropping the ball, or if all the fight
I had to go through
many bullshit spreads, or I don't even know.
I had to go through OddsShark leading up to the fights to find any odds, so those weren't like necessarily like UFC standard odds, but I mean they do go by Caesars William Hill for anyone that was wondering at home. Like that is their standard book. So if you can find those odds, you can actually know what they are. But sometimes Caesars William Hill won't release them in a state that's not a gambling state. Really weird, like bylaws with U.S. gambling still, because states have to legalize it even though it's nationally approved. Yeah. And then I found the odds going into the fight. Obviously, like when they walk in, they tell them there. So I was writing those down for us just so we have like in-cage odds. But I have the odds from Friday. Really, no one moved a whole bunch. They were super, super similar.
Okay, let's talk about this round one, though. Let's get right into it, because this was the weirdest round ever.
It made no sense.
I had McGee winning the first round. Like, I was, like, halfway through writing, like, McGee round one.
Until the last 6 seconds, right?
Well, yeah, and then, like, as the, like, buzzer beater, Condit, like, drops him, like, literally at the bell. Dropped
him hard, too.
Like, bad. Like, if that wasn't the bell, like if that was 2 minutes left, that fight is over.
Oh yeah, he's getting finished. Yeah,
done. Like it was severe starching, but it happened like right at the buzzer, So I'm being you give that round to Condit, right?
I did, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I have it written that it was a super boring back and forth first round with a lot of feints, a lot of like feeling each other out,
yeah.
and then literally like I just like that was what I wrote, and then I go literally last 6 seconds, Condit drops McGee with 2 seconds left after a flurry. Okay, so I guess flurry starts 6 seconds, drops him with 2 seconds, and then I was like stole the round.
Yeah,
it was the biggest thing that happened that round.
Definition of stealing around. If you look up stealing around,
Bingo.
in the dictionary, you should have a video of that for sure. So yeah, we're on the same page. They're 10-9, Condit after one. Then round two, Condit's like ability to keep the distance and just this distance striking was gorgeous. Just
good activity too, man. Like, he stayed busy, stayed working.
Busy. Yeah, that's what I was also excited about because how many times have we seen an older fighter coming back, and they're just not active, not a lot of volume, just you know what I'm saying? We've seen that happen a million
we see it
times,
all too often, like Tyron Woodley.
Yes, exactly. And I was low-key a little worried that that was going to be the case, but Condit put that to bed definitely in the second round. Especially after the first round, they were both kind of pussyfooting around, and I was like, oh shit, here we go, another old guy fight with a bunch of, not a lot of action. But round two, Condit just fucking cranked it all the way to 10.
Yeah, and Court McGee is tough, man. He's only been finished once in 29 fights, and I think that was a submission. It wasn't even a KO TKO. So
very, very tough.
And Condit did mention that in his post-fight interview that he knew coming in he probably wasn't going to KO or TKO Court McGee simply because they haven't seen it happen in 30 fights. So he's like, why would it happen for me? So good game plan on him to prepare to just strike him out for 15 straight. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And he did a great job of it. I mean, his kicks.
Absolutely.
His kicks looked really good through a variety of kicks. And then did you give round three to Condit?
I did, yeah. I just thought he was once again more active, was still landing a little more. Court McGee actually just looked really tired by the end, man. Like he looked worn down. He looked kind of physically beaten up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, Condit wins the unanimous decision. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he has like a run in him, but he looked good, man. He didn't look like shit. I'll give him that. He showed up and he didn't look like shit. Now he was entertaining to watch.
Essentially, it was a fight for him to like either stay in the UFC or get kicked out.
No, totally.
That's how I felt about this fight.
Yeah, I didn't like. This was either going to end like this or end like Cerrone did last weekend.
Bingo. And then I guarantee in the post-fight interview, which I haven't watched with like Dana, the interviews they do right after, if Condit had lost, I bet Dana would have been saying it's probably time that me and him have a talk.
Totally.
But after him winning and looking good, he's probably going to say, yeah, we'll see what's in the future for him. He looks like he still has some game.
Without a doubt, man. What have you done for me lately?